Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to everyone who has joined us for the session today. Thank you very much for being here. Please note that this session is being recorded. I'm Coach Anjana Lumba, Education and Programming Chair of ICF Oman Chapter, and the host for today's session on leadership coaching in the corporates, overcoming the fear of designations. Before introducing the speaker, a quick note on housekeeping. Please keep your mics on mute during the session and post your questions in the chat to be answered by the speaker at the end of the session. By attending this session till the end, you earn one Resource Development CCEU. We would also like to request you to please fill in a very short feedback form at the end of the session. It is now time for me to introduce our speaker, Dr. Srirupa Banerjee. Dr. Banerjee is the founder of Travers, a boutique leadership development firm specializing in customized training and coaching programs designed for success. With over 2 decades of experience in leadership training and more than 2,000 hours of coaching leaders across the globe, she brings deep expertise in facilitating growth and transformation. Her approach blends strategic insight with practical behavioral tools, enabling leaders to achieve sustainable impact. In addition to her consulting work, Dr. Banerjee serves as a visiting faculty, teaching behavior and leadership to MBA students, nurturing the next generation of high impact professionals. Thank you, Dr. Banerjee, for giving us your time. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Coach Anjana. This is really an honor to be in front of all of you. As your hygiene says that you have to keep your mics on mute, please let the please let the reactions keep coming so that I feel encouraged and happy to share everything that I have. So yes, it's been a long time being a coach and a trainer for the leadership in several companies. I work across countries and designations. And what I'm going to share with you today is majorly my experience. It has got no theory. It has got no backing of, it is just my experience that I have earned over the years. I have been fearful myself, and it has been work over time where I have overcome it. So just my knowledge, my experience of being there in the space for a longer period of time. I have much that I don't like having a PowerPoint presentation. I do have one because it's a webinar. It has got pointers for self-reflection. I'm going to share it with you. You may take the PPT because you may need it later on, or you may take screenshots. As Anjana said, please keep noting the questions that you have. I should speak for 40 minutes. I hope after a full long day, 40 minutes is tough if it's one-sided. I'll speak for around 40 minutes and then we can open it up for question and answers. I hope that is all right. Yes. Okay. Some thumbs up, please. Nice. Whoa, that's a lot of it. Okay. So, starting with like all coaching sessions, let me start with contracting. Now, leadership coaching, as I understand it, is coaching leaders who are at the top level in the organization. I am not taking managers at this point of time. We are only talking about people who are CXOs or maybe CXOs minus one, potential CXOs. So this is the sort of people that we are talking about. And you know what happens when you get this call from an organization, be it a bank or a pharma company or an IT company, when they call you, they say that, you are up for coaching these people. It's quite a bit of validation, isn't it? Like, oh wow, I have been called to do this coaching. So for me, it was a validation right in the beginning. So I went ahead and said, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this well, without understanding much of it. And when I actually went into the coaching session, which was the coaching of a CXO, I realized that there has been no briefing that has been done to this person. I entered, and this person was like, "Hi, also you're the coach. So what are we supposed to do?" And I had my contract with HR, like we are told to have our contracts. I had my detailed discussion with the CEO who wanted this person to have a session. And he told me the problems that this person had, and what they wanted as change. But when I went and reached that person was quite surprised, like, what are we supposed to do, ma'am? So I was like, okay, so where do I start? And when you start like that, most of the time you're up for failure because you don't know where to go. That person doesn't know where to go. So as I start my session, the first thing that all of us need to learn in leadership coaching is that a lot of organizations want to put the gun on your shoulder and tell something or make a point to the coachee. Uh, it's a tough place to be because that's not what we are meant for. We're meant for coaching for performance, we're meant for coaching for answers. Now, when you are in a space where the coachee doesn't know and you're supposed to tell a certain thing, you're starting on the wrong foot. So, what I have decided, and it is non negotiable at this point of time, is have a tripartite. And when I say a tripartite, you have to have the CEO or the senior management who is proposing the coaching. You're supposed to have the coachee and the HR and you. So, why I called it tri is because the HR and the senior management is in one space. Um, the coachee and you. So it's a tripartite discussion where the goals need to be decided for sure and very clear goals. Do not take on any responsibility uh, to do it on the behalf of the management. That is definitely not what we are supposed to do. So I thought that, this was a wrong foot, and every time I talk about leadership coaching, every time anybody talks about leadership coaching, this is something that I always say that please, please, please do a tripartite. And the tripartite is supposed to happen if it's a 6 month coaching, at least twice. So once when it starts, once after 3 sessions, and once after 6 sessions. Please keep that going because if we end a certain coaching session, say 10 sessions, 12 sessions, when it comes to an end and you've gone nowhere, it is your reputation which is at stake. You are not the right coach. So, as coaches, I think that is the most important step to start, even when we are feeling elated, we are feeling validated, we are feeling, this is what I was waiting for. You have to step back and say no to every organization which does not agree to do this. It's been almost 4 years where I have put my foot down. I have lost a few clients, but that's how. So now let us start with the fear of designations. And I have been taught by Peter J. Redding the initial part of the 60 hours. And Peter J. Redding's course um, taught us the business of coaching too. And when he was talking about business of coaching, he told us, please coach the people for practice, those who you are staying with most of the time. Like if you are, like I said, I am a faculty at an university. So do it with students. If you are a business owner, do it with business owners. Do not go out of your comfort zone when you're practicing. And I was like, why would he say this? Why would he stop us from, exploring everyone? I want to coach anybody. Anybody who says I want coaching, I'm ready. I'm there. Please stay. Let me know what problem you have. I am there too, I'm there for you. But he kept on saying that play safe, play safe, play safe. So I'll just share my PowerPoint presentation over here. The first learning of leadership coaching
Yes, I have to
is having the
tuner.
understanding of leadership. I just share my screen. Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
I wanted to do a full screen. I'm wondering how. Just a second. Oh, this is not coming in a presentation mode. One sec. Yeah. Now we are good. Yes. Yes. All right. You can see again, right? Okay. So we are talking about going there and getting the jitters. Because when you enter an offline coaching session, and I'm talking about offline coaching session here, when you enter the offline coaching session, there is an ambience that is there. Either you're walking into an office full of people who are there. There is a glass room, which can be a meeting room, which can be a conference room, which can be the person's room. So you're meeting the person in their own den. And there can be a fear that you're going to have around the ambience that is there, which feels very, very overwhelming. Also, the people who we are talking about, they are very, very senior and they know a lot. So there can be a space where you feel that, okay, I'm not comfortable over here. If it's an online coaching session, it is a little bit easier, but still the person, we have this, aura where this person is definitely supposed to be knowing so much more, and rightly so. What am I going to be there? So today's session is about how to overcome this fear. And as I was talking about Peter J. Redding, and he said that, you start sort of figure out with people who are closer, whose language you understand. And many, many years later, when I practice leadership coaching, I think the major space is what is your knowledge on leadership? You will see some corporate people who are, who've been there for around 20, 30 years. When they become coaches, somehow they have it a little easier. Whereas some people who've not been in the corporate or with the leadership in the corporate, they have it a little difficult. It is about the language that they are speaking. It is about the same things. Though, as coaches, we are told that we don't have to have domain knowledge. You do not have to have domain knowledge, which is true. But you have to be able to understand the problem from the person's perspective. So, what is, if you're a leadership coach or if you're an executive coach and you're talking about CXOs and minus one, you have to have an understanding of big business in general. So, if you're going to a bank, how does a bank function? or what are the things, like what is the hierarchy of the bank? Where is this person? What is the business that they do? What are the several businesses that they do? This preparation is mandatory for anybody to do. Just, I mean, even if you go for a training program, even if you go for a talk somewhere, you generally would know who are the people, what is the persona of the person that we are going to meet over there. Generally understanding between management and leadership. And why I put this point over here is that when we are talking of leadership, we are talking about two things majorly. We're talking about visioning, that is forward thinking. And second, where they have general problems, like with so many years of coaching, what I've seen is that they have general problems, which are, one is the thinking forward part, and second, getting people to do work. They will talk less about the day-to-day management or execution if you're going at that level. If you're going to go to the management level, then you need to understand execution. You have to do the homework. General jargons like strategy, finance, execution, analytics, AI. What's the current thing? Um, and I'm talking from the context of uh, overcoming the fear. So it's not like you have to do all of it, but if you have a fear, then it helps over here. A general awareness about leadership styles, like is it democratic, autocratic, pace setting, authoritative, general understanding of leadership styles. So you can read leadership books around it, you can see leadership videos around it, have a hang of the space that you're entering, and have a sort of knowledge about it. And general issues in corporates, conflict management, attrition, behavioral differences, fast changing world, adaptive leadership, so on and so forth. I just stop here. It's pretty one sided. Uh, anyone uh, have anything to ask here? Any particular question that you have here? Okay, can I carry on then? All right. Okay, so now we have a good mastery over this leadership and we've done our homework. There is more homework to do. So, there, what you're doing is going to come in the last slide. But basically, it is about working on yourself. And how much work do we do on ourselves? And what is the work that you do on yourself? It's a coach's responsibility to work on your own self and be aligned. And when we have done the values, etc., I think we have enough understanding. So what am I totally aligned? Am I totally aligned with my own self? So if you ask me, I have practiced saying this to myself, that I'm authentic, I'm pragmatic, and I'm transformational. This is something that I keep telling myself so that I'm very aligned to this. So if you meet me on the road, or you meet me, here or anywhere else, I'm going to be authentic. This is what you will get of Srirupa wherever you see her. So if you're on a call, you're going to see the same person. So I'm very authentic. I'm very practical. I don't use too much of jargons. I am I would always want to have solutions which are good for you. So it's very practical and it's transformative. It has to have a change. That's the job. We cannot think that, at least for me, I am very enthusiastic about change happening. What are my strengths? So as far as I'm concerned, these are good questions to ask yourself. I'm pretty good with knowledge part of it, majorly because I have been teaching. The theoretical aspect of it is strong, and I have a good understanding. I'm pretty good with feeling understanding and behavior understanding. So those are my strengths. Am I grounded and aligned with my true self? Now, this is where it gets a little more serious. Like when you're saying grounding, it's about being very comfortable in your own skin. It's it's about knowing that this is who I am. I have my goods and my bad, and this is where I am. So where do I come from? What is the history that I have? What are the spaces where I had to make more effort? What are the failures that I've had? What are some things that I've never been able to, uh, uh, come to a conclusion of? I have some I still have some issues, but I'm aligned with my true self. I'm comfortable with who I am. I am not wanting to be anything else. I am my true self. And deeper when we go, we talk about what do I know of my own presence? Now, this is a tricky space where we say that, what is the presence that we have? And what does presence have? Presence talks about you being in that moment. That is the easiest answer of it. Presence talks about openness to others' opinions being there. So your presence is not only your presence is also the presence that you make the other person feel. What is the person feeling in that state when you are present? Is the person feeling uncomfortable? Is the person feeling calm? Is the person feeling comfortable in your presence? Are you intimidating? Are you making the person feel at ease? And the third part of presence is the chemistry between both of you. And this is something that you have to work on every single day. So what work do we do around this? The work on presence is I am here now at this moment. And how am I occurring to the other person? What is the other person feeling in my presence? And how are both of us feeling over here? And this does not mean have to be in a coaching session. This presence can be practiced anywhere. You can just move back and see. I mean, there's more about this when we go ahead about this presence. So it's a practice that you have of your positive presence every single day, because you have to create your responsibilities to create that space where the other person can work, or you and the other person can work together. So your presence being positive, being happy, being, and being nice, in the lack of a good word, I guess, that makes a lot of difference. What does this coaching session mean to me? So you have to ask that question to yourself. I love to hold somebody else's hand and, to see that the person crosses to the other side. I'm so always ready to hold somebody's hand, that, I am in service of my client. Are you in service of your client? Is that something that you really want to do? So coming back, it's a lot about yourself over here. So the first part is on leadership. The second part is on yourself. My strengths, my roots. Do I totally own who I am? Am I comfortable in who I am? What does this session mean to me? And am I in service of the client? That's the entire mindset, that you're going in service of the client. So you're happy and you're ready to be there. Again, stopping for a brief moment. Please let me know if there are any questions up to now. Okay, I'd love to see some thumbs up. It's a hard day. I'm sure it's. Thank you so much. Jagannathan sends me this entire blow up of thumbs ups. Okay, going back. And this is going to become a little more, this is going to become a little more deep in terms of overcoming your fear. So, we are at being invisible. And it's a practice that we have. Can anyone just unmute and let me know what you understand of empathy? Like, um, it's a very normal question to have. So, what's empathy for you? Anyone?
Trying to be in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Validating someone. All right. Nice. The commonest explanation is being in somebody else's shoes. There is a little more around empathy in coaching, which I always talk about. When you are in somebody else's, and I'll share an example over here. Um, when you're in somebody else's shoes, you are that person. You're embodying that person. Everything about that person is who you are. So, in coaching sessions, when people tell me something that is totally, say, for example, they enter and they say that, I've just fired this person yesterday because I hated the way that he was behaving. And I don't care if he has a family to feed. And, that's not my problem. Everybody has a problem. I also have a problem. I need to go ahead in my life. I just fired the person because I just couldn't tolerate him anymore. You know what, ma'am? I don't care. And every bit of you at that moment is thinking of that person losing the job. You're like, oh my God, this person is going to lose and he doesn't care. You better care. I mean, that's how I'm reacting. That's the problem of not being empathy. Though I understand his frustration, but it's only at an understanding point. It's only in the mental knowledge of understanding. I'm talking of embodying empathy. Now you have to understand that you are not there in that system. There are many value-based outbursts that happen, value-based outbursts, which totally don't align to your values. That no, you can't do this. Like inside, I'm screaming in my mind, no, you can't do this. This is not done. But at that point of time, you're in service of the client. You have to see that you are invisible, and that's very, very, very difficult. It is one day, if you start practicing it now, one day you will be able to become invisible. It is a very difficult practice to do. And this is something, I mean, definitely in leaders, it helps if you are nothing. You yourself think that you are invisible. So what do I mean by being invisible? I mean, what is my role in empathy? When you're shouting, I don't agree to this, oh, but this is absolutely incorrect. You rewind and say, oh my God, this is worrying this person so much. You're not there. There is nothing, there is nothing that There is no ego. There is no me. There is no doctorate in front of your name. There's no PCC. There's no need for you to bring about a change. There is no need for you to tell what you're thinking. There is no you in that space. That's what I'm calling invisibility. You are non existent. You are there only as a vessel to hold that person, be what the person desires to be, the bigger person who the person is. So you need to retract yourself and be in service of the person and say, oh my God, I understand that there is a lot of emotions that are there. I'm not there. My role in empathy is I finish myself, every bit of my ego. you have to let go. Now, this will not come on that day when you're doing the coaching. This is a practice. This is a practice that you have to do in within friends. When you're going out for lunch, everybody is talking, and then there are fun and laughter, and then there is this talk about this one person that everybody doesn't like, and you sort of disconnect yourself and say, I'm not present in this. Oh wow, look at this person, look at that person. So you have to just align yourself to people, your children in your home. When they come back from school, when they come back from college, they have something to say, burst of emotions or the lack of it. There is a person who's very silent. Align yourself to that person. In your daily course, refrain from giving opinions. It's a practice, not all the time. I'm not expecting you to just leave every opinion that you have, but it is a good practice to do. Pockets in your day, just let go. Just let go of yourself. Just think of yourself as a fly on the wall, invisible. Nobody cares. You need to align yourself with different people. That practice of being invisible actually makes you create a much larger space than you can create when you are going there as a coach. Because as a coach, you are carrying yourself too. So you are the coach, you are a personality, you have your own opinions, and hence the space that you can create is only that much. The moment you become invisible, or you can practice invisibility and you can practice empathy in that way, you're creating a much larger space because you're not there. So your space is also a space. So there is a big amount of space. Now that person is in his or her own service. You are in their service. So imagine the amount of space that you've created. Be comfortable in being invisible. So when you practice this, a lot of times, what happens? You get ignored because you're practicing invisibility. When you're practicing invisibility and people don't see you at times in spaces which matter, be okay, have fun. Have fun being invisible. It's like playing hide and seek. Oh, they didn't even recognize me. Great, you're doing a good job because you're training to become that coach who gives more space. So, it's okay. It's fine. I mean, it works perfectly for me. And when you're invisible, when you don't have there is not when you're not there, then you don't have anything to prove. So just have a mindset of presence and of invisibility when you're moving into that space of coaching. When you have a leader in front, and in the same space that I had described, there is an offline coaching, and you're walking into this space where everybody is there, and then there is a glass cabin, or there is a meeting room, or there is a um, um, boardroom, or there is a wooden door. Like if you go to public sector units in India, they do have a wooden room. So when you are not there, then what is the fear? So you are working on yourself. So just quickly, before I move on to the next slide, then that's the last slide. That's all that I have. So the first part is that I'm good at the jargon. I know what they're going to talk about. I sort of know, what leadership is about and what these people would be facing. There might be something which is personal, but okay. We are coaches, so we are able to do that. I've worked on myself. I know who I am. I know. And then, even after knowing who I am, I have become invisible. I'm not there. So, since I'm not there, it really doesn't matter so much to the people um, who are seeing. At least it doesn't matter to us that people are seeing, because I am going to be invisible over there. Okay. Again, coming to all of you, any questions? I'll then come back. Anything? Absolutely, yes. You giving up your ego and giving up yourself, yes. And it's a practice. Absolutely. Takes a lot of energy to be invisible. The practice itself is very difficult. And at times, let me tell you, it's not easy because I get overlooked. When I want to say a certain thing, I have practiced being invisible so much that when I want to say a certain thing, people are not able to hear it. And it's quite frustrating. And then I'm like, I'm going to make a choice here. Do I want to be invisible? Do I want to is my opinion so important over here? And often the question is, I want to be a good coach. I want to be, creating that space. So I'm okay. It's hard. It's not easy. It's hard. So the last one, the last space that we have, I hope I haven't overstepped. No, I'm still at time. Okay. So now up to here, it was all about ourselves. Like, mm, leadership understanding about yourself, grounding yourself is about yourself, and being invisible is also about yourself. So it is all about ourselves. Now we walk in and we sit down and we look at this person. And one sometimes about a year ago, I was meeting a lot of leaders who were sharing a very vulnerable side of them, very vulnerable side of them. And I was like, when I get time, or when I have the intent, or I think that I can, I want to write a book on the vulnerable side of leaders. There is a vulnerable side. They are all dads or moms. They are they are sons, the daughters. They have a full on family life. They have so much of baggage that they are already carrying. On top of that, they have this coach who is going to come and talk to them and try to improve them. The entire world is wanting so much out of them. You have to be a better dad, you have to be a great daughter, you have to be a great CXO. You need to have the marketing strategy so that the profit is so much. There's so much burden on that person. I seriously sometimes feel so sorry for them. Forget about feeling scared. When I look at them, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to write a book on each of you, one chapter each. If any of you find a book tomorrow, please know it has come out of this. I would write a chapter on each of them. How tough it is for them to be that, because it's not like they are just leaders with suits and coats and all these smart attire and pointed heels. They are doing so much more, and yet doing that, it is so difficult on them. So can you see the person beyond their designation? Okay, they are so vulnerable. They just want somebody to listen to them. They don't want to go anywhere. They just want that there is this person who wants to reach out. What is this person really struggling with? So, as I have always learned that, when a person comes up and all the big coaches, if you've been hearing so many of them, they would always say that the first problem that they come up with is only the window. That is never the first problem. Please take that with a pinch of salt, because that is what they think the problem is. That is what their mind thinks the problem is. It is in your session and the place that you're creating that they are going to actually come up with, and which is why the contracting and the recontracting, and do we really want to go here? Are you sure you've changed? Do we really want to go there? That is why we want to know the who part of it, not only the what part. What is the struggle? Yes, what is the struggle? Who are you? Okay, like, who do you want to be? So that there's a different part of that. So please see to it, like, when you look at that person, you should feel that I'm in service of that person. This is a whole and complete person with so much that I can't see at this moment. And the person is opening a window for me to see more in. So much of responsibility that we have as coaches. They are opening the most vulnerable part to us. How can you have a fear? I feel so I feel so sad for them. I so want to, hold their hands and say that, but I'm with you in this journey. Don't worry. I'm here. I'm here. Tell me what you want. You're just that window which can actually bring about a change in them. And hence, does my presence stabilize a person? So if I sit over here and say, okay, so what do we want to talk about today? Oh, that person doesn't want to talk to you. You have to be in a way which stabilizes the person, calms the person, makes the person feel I want to share. This is a person who's going to listen to me. So that invisibility that we have practiced for so many days, so many months, today that invisibility and the presence, which is the openness to hear the nice person that you are and the chemistry between you. This is your test of that stability. Are you stabilizing the person or are you making the person very anxious? I have gone through coaching sessions where people have had a very straight face. I have been very intimidated by it myself when I have been coached. I'm like, am I supposed to say, will the person scold me? Will the person be so it's good to, go two steps forward for the person to open up. It is okay. I always feel that if you are open, where you have a body language of being open, I am in service of you. Can you please tell me? I think it works better because anyway you're nobody. You're invisible. So it really doesn't matter who you are. Is the person ready to begin uh, his or her journey towards change? That is a question that you have to keep asking yourself. Is the person ready? Like I am ready in total service, in I've worked on my presence, I've worked on my invisibility. I am ready. Is the person ready? And if the person is not ready, how much expansiveness can I give to this person so that the person becomes ready? That the fears just fall off. It is about a conversation with a person who will not judge, who will not create any vision because that's what you've practiced. It will not even come. You've practiced invisibility. So you're empathetic. You're working in the client's perspective. So my mentor always would say that this question, Srirupa, that you've asked when she would go through the sessions, she would say that, this question that you've asked, is this question out of your curiosity or is it moving the other person forward? And I thought that was profound. I mean, it opened up doors for me like anything. Is this something that we talk about curiosity, but it is not about our curiosity? We need to be curious, but every curious question needs to move that person forward. Are we just asking questions because we want to know, or are we asking them questions so that they can make the movement forward? When she asked me that question during one mentoring session, I was like, woof, blew my mind. I said, oh wow, that's something that I'm really wanting to learn. So if you're invisible and you're in service of the client, you're going to ask questions for the service of the client. Is the space safe? Again, there's too much of chatter in the coach's head, and we have to live with it. That's who we are. But to shut the chatter and to move ahead about creating the space. So this should go on. Like I've fought with myself. It's a little lesser today, but I still have my, oh my God, this person is not understanding. Oh my God, why am I not able to make this person move? Does the person even understand? I have this frustration in me, but I keep on telling myself, but you're not there. You're just there for him or her. Move out of the space. Let the space be bigger. Let's see how the person wants to move. And it's a good place to be, it's a fun place to be where you're taking yourself out again and again and again. And last but not the least, this is my last point and the like one-sided webinar ends. Uh, that are we working at our highest coaching excellence? So as I said that, leadership is important, I also would want to know that at your coaching, are you learning and are you putting in everything that you know in that coaching session? It is not about you. It is about the client. But do you remember everything that you must remember? Or are you just at that moment so engrossed that you've forgotten to move the client ahead? So your coaching excellence, where how we get accredited with our ACCs, PCCs, MCCs, they tell us that we are excellent at a certain level. Are we working at that highest excellence even when we know that there is the vulnerable person? Uh, we have to look at the door and move in. We have to move the client forward. And, am I creating a safe space for the person? And am I at my max excellence? Am I reminded of those um, competencies which made me a coach? So, am I able to uh, do max service? It should become a part of me. Those competencies, like I'm not saying that you go to first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, but is my driving smooth enough that whatever it comes to me naturally, whatever is the roadblock, whatever is the bump that is there, it just flows in. Am I at my maximum coaching excellence? And I think if we are, a quick recap, if we understand leadership as it is, if we know who we are, if we work on our invisibility, and we are in total service of the client, I believe over a period of time, we will uh, stop fearing the designations because we are in service of that person who needs to evolve. And I'm back for anything that you want to ask. So should I see the chat? As Anjana said, the questions are there. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the claps that I am receiving. Can you please, if you don't want to type, can you please, like if you don't want to unmute yourself, can you please uh, type? Okay, thank you, Carolyn. But anyone else?
Can I go?
Yes, of course.
Hi.
Hi.
So this is Raj. I'm an leadership coach, and one of my experience I want to share and I want to validate with you. How do you deal with that? See, during my like one-to-one with the leaders, I see many times they just want to speak out things. They don't need you to ask any questions. They don't need any directions because I've seen them there with their peers, and there are so many things in their mind that they want to just speak out, share it, because those are the things they can't share with anybody else. And I just sit there and I just keep on hearing these leaders uh, who just went out their some of their frustrations, went out their like something which is going on for a long time. And as they speak, they get a lot of clarity. So for me, just being there and not even asking anything, just sitting and hearing, I see that person gets a lot of clarity for himself. Do you get such situation? Do you get?
Always. Yes. But if I that would be my first session or the second session. But if you remember the contract that I was talking about
Mm,
right in the beginning, so there is a reason why I'm there.
mm,
To listen, yes, but to move the person forward, and the person is in understanding that the coaching sessions are done because there is a certain outcome that is expected.
yeah.
So I do a lot of listening for the first two sessions, but since we both are on the same page and the tripartite has happened, I have
Mm,
to I I have to at a point of time ask that that this is what we had discussed,
mm.
and do you want to talk about this today, or do we have something else? I have to, because that's the responsibility that I carry in terms of an organization hiring me.
Mm.
So it's not only listening. A lot of times I have to be very sure that, the organization also benefits from the presence of me being there.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
There is a question, Dr. Srirupa, in the chat.
Yes.
How to manage the situation of a leader who is arrogant? Any tips?
Yes. So, what would arrogance mean? I mean, to me, it means that the person is definitely in fear of something, which is what the person is not wanting you to see. That's why there is arrogance. Now, if you stop fighting, there is no arrogance to show to you. You're invisible. So if you are not fighting, there is no fight that is going to happen from the other side. You are in service of the client. Why should a person be arrogant with a person who is not fighting with you? So you have to hold space and, let that pass, not feel bad. You are not there. How can you feel bad about an arrogance that is there? You'd stop taking in the energy of arrogance in you. Stay with it. Okay. So once you stop fighting and the other person sees that, but she is not taking the arrogance, she's there to help me out. Maybe not the first time, but by the second or the third time, the person comes up like, I'm sorry that the last time I was so rude, but if I was not rude with you, I was rude with the situation. I hate where I am. But I want to tell you something, and then, then you get that space or the window to walk in. You don't open the window, they will open the window. Trust it will get open. So yeah, don't fight that arrogance and don't take in that energy. I think there was a question about how do you stop crying, or how do you hold back your tears? If we can go back to this is which place did you say this? Because when I was presenting, I did not see the chat. Somebody had said how to control your tears. Munira, are you there? How to control our tears in such situation? Um, in what situation? When you're invisible and people don't see you? Can I get a thumbs up if I'm understanding it correctly? Yeah, okay. So it is a practice that you have that, people, when they don't see you, you will feel bad about it. But what is the larger cause? Why are we practicing being invisible? We are practicing being invisible because we want to become a better coach, because we want to expand uh, to others, for others to share. When we are doing that in that larger cause that we have, this is a small price to pay. Um, you just let be. It's okay. A small price for just being ignored. It's not always that you have to do it. So some lunches I go to and I just have fun and I'm giving all my opinion. Some of them I just say that, okay, today is my practice day. So not everywhere you have to become invisible, but mindfully become invisible in certain parts, uh, in public spaces, at airports. Just see, just observe. So you will not have tears. if you are working for the larger cause.
Thank you so much. If we could please request everyone to come on camera for a group
The
picture.
picture.
Yes. Fatma, our PR and marketing chair, will do the honors for us. Fatma, if you are ready, let us know when to smile.
Sure. So it is big group, so I will do it twice. Page 1, page 2. So I'll count to 3. Just smile to the camera. 1, 2, 3. Next page. So 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Srirupa, for that. I would now like to request for a vote of thanks by ICF Oman Chapter Secretary and Treasurer Farzeen Ashik.
Thank you, Anjana. On behalf of the ICF Oman chapter, Dr. Srirupa, we would like to thank you very much for this powerful and thought-provoking session on leadership coaching in corporates and how to overcome the fear of designations. To be honest, when I first started off coaching 5 years ago, this was something that I was terrified about as well. So I can completely resonate with your message today. It's a great reminder to all of us that behind a title, there is a human being. And as coaches, it's always about connecting with that humanity and for us not to be intimidated by that hierarchy. So, on behalf of all the participants, thank you so much for bringing your authenticity, for giving us such practical strategies for coaching and sharing your personal stories. We leave today with a lot of confidence, and we're grateful for your generosity and for your insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for so many of you coming over here, spending your time. It's the end of the day, and I'm sure all of us are so tired, but all of you showed up. Thank you so much. This means so much to me. Thank you.
Much. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone. Good night till we meet again. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank
Bye.
you.